With its reduced weight of around 3.69 pounds without a tripod, the Crane 4 seeks to accommodate both expert and novice users by striking a precise balance between use and power. It also has a longer functioning length, up to 12 hours at most when the camera is properly balanced. An added plus is that the Crane 4 itself may be used to charge your camera. When it comes time to recharge, a 15V fast charger can get the Crane 4 back to full capacity in as little as 1 hour and 50 minutes. The 2600 mAh battery life of the gimbal can readily extend it over many days for shorter shots without any noticeable battery loss. The gimbal on the Crane 4 folds down into a little package when you're ready to carry it for a trip or distant shoot. The tripod and the sling grip and wrist rest attachments from the combination package will need some more packing, but the Crane 4 travels well in its carrying bag. Additionally, the axis arms are shielded between places by a silicone protective cover. When your camera is attached, the Crane 4's buttons and functionality may be adjusted, including the trigger button and front dial wheel. Zhiyun offers a list of its own camera capabilities in addition to the available features, controls, and lenses that the build plate that comes with the product support. A 1.22-inch color touchscreen on the rear gives you access to the majority of the settings and shooting functions. The joystick, photo video, and mode switch buttons are tilted to further keep everything within reach. This makes it easier to push while holding the gimbal. The color touchscreen size is limited by this design decision, which means that using it could not be as seamless as with the Weebill series. There has been a shift with Zhiyun's gimbals towards simplifying the initial balancing process. Although each of the three axes was initially labeled with an appealing design, the Crane 4 has improved upon this. A balancing indication light, added by Zhiyun, flashes red or white according to how well each axis is balanced. This red light offers an easy-to-see reference in place of your gimbal suddenly getting slack and hearing a shutdown sound. This may significantly cut down on backtracking if you're just learning how to balance your camera, since you won't have to guess which axis is off. After everything is in order with the lights, you should rapidly fine-tune everything by using the touchscreen to do an auto-calibration. To accommodate full-frame cameras, the Crane 4 has longer arm and an enlarged construction plate in addition to better motors. While using the quick-release module to switch to portrait mode, this works well in the normal landscape mode. When switching to portrait mode, certain camera and lens combinations may not be balanced, so bear that in mind when acquiring the Crane 4. Because of this, a Sony A7R III in portrait mode balance well while using the Sony FE24mm f1.4 GM lens. A Sony FE50mm f2.5 GM lens caused improper balancing. Therefore, if you wish to benefit from the quickly swappable horizontal and vertical lock structure for the quick-release system, you should preferably double-check the compatibility list. The extra wrist rest and sling grip on the Crane 4 combination package provide more options for achieving a secure grasp on the gimbal. Many people find that using a two-handed technique with the sling grip turned all the way to the left is the most comfortable. The handle and grip position are also movable. Those who are experienced with using camera support attachments, including tripod mount extenders, should find the mechanics easy to use. The improved wrist rest, with its smoother texture, offers more ideal comfort than the sling grip, which is a drawback. Longer periods would benefit greatly from a more comfortable cushioning in addition to the alternate sling option. This provides a much more regulated method for getting those close to the ground pictures while using the sling mode. The sling grip significantly lessens the fatigue of such an endeavor, though it is still possible with just the handle and an attached tripod. Furthermore, returning the sling grip to the two-handed position is an easy task after the shot is finished. For those who are ready to build their own system, the 1/4 screw hole on the grip provides further modification choices in both scenarios. In addition to the two main hand positions, you may take a selfie with the Crane 4 turned around and use one hand. This is made easier by the Crane 4, which is a lightweight gimbal that allows you to easily switch between normal and selfie viewing by pressing the trigger button as needed. Although ergonomic features add attractiveness to a gimbal, steadiness that is appropriate for your camera is what matters most. In order to evaluate the Crane 4's strength, I chose to do brief shots under various circumstances. I decided to put the Crane 4 to the ultimate test by running at a steady speed up and down the stairs of a remote area. In the go mode of the gimbal, stable motion was delivered, especially with the lens support device. I conducted a walk test on a rocky beach with sometimes uneven ground in order to simulate more common use. I decided to film some subject action at the beachhead and conduct a series of pans and leanbacks with the Sony a7R III attached to the Crane 4. The Crane 4 produced very fluid, flawless recording once again. As always, practice makes perfect when it comes to your gimbal walk, but the majority of shots can be made much simpler with the Crane 4. Discovering how the various gimbal settings might benefit you is one of the most essential things to do if you're new to gimbals, apart from balancing. Along with a portrait mode for vertical photography, you'll discover the same modes that are found on most gimbals: pan, follow, lock, point of view, go, and vortex. There are many different methods to capture the photo when you combine these various settings with the choice to mount your camera either vertically or horizontally. Therefore, your camera has even more alternatives if you want to duplicate a certain specific photography style or play further with vortex mode. You may use the Zhiyun Crane 4 without a direct cable connection to your camera, but after you're connected, you can see what customized tasks can be handled if you're prepared to learn more about adjusting the settings on your camera and consult Zhiyun's camera compatibility list. You should experiment with your camera's choices to see which ones work best for you, whether you're out in the field or on a live shoot. Depending on the camera, various functions may be linked to different cable connections. One cable connection let me to play with the electronic zoom, for example, but another was required for electronic focusing. Since the gimbal's control wheel is linked to a lot of this functionality, you should determine which shortcut option is most effective for you. You can avoid fiddling with your camera after it's attached if you use the joystick, touchscreen, and buttons in tandem. If you do have any problems, it's likely because one of the necessary settings for your camera isn't enabled. Although Zhiyun's website will provide broad instructions here, you may sometimes need to go into the settings. Zhiyun has included a 10W fill light inside the gimbal of the Crane 4 in addition to a light diffuser attachment. So what is the performance of this light? The color temperature range provided by the 10W fill light is 2700K, 5500K. Additionally, the brightness may be changed from 10 to 100, with a maximum possible illumination of 3200 lux. Customization options vary greatly depending on the atmosphere or mood you want to create. There's a little scroll wheel beside the power button that controls it all. You may press the wheel to switch between settings and scroll it to alter the values after holding it to turn the fill light on or off. It's a straightforward addition that takes you just a little bit out of the primary control area of the Crane 4. It's also far enough away that you won't unintentionally blind someone else. Zhiyun has the ZY Play app for fine-tuning and remote control. The ZY Play app is simple, unlike other camera gimbal applications that may be quite unreliable. Because of its streamlined interface, the Crane 4's controls and configuration choices are considerably more concentrated, even going beyond making it simple to install a firmware upgrade. To get the ideal shot without using your hand on the Crane 4, the ZY Play app may be a useful tool. It's completely optional, and you can do anything with the gimbal alone. You don't have to dedicate a lot of time to exploring the app if you're having trouble deciding, since it doesn't take long to look around. So now the question is it worth it to purchase the Crane 4? Well, the Crane 4, being a more sophisticated gimbal, will mostly help individuals who have upgraded cameras and lenses and want to further enhance their gadgets. Because of this, the Crane 4 is more expensive than other models, particularly when you buy the combination package, while having a wide range of comfort and useful functions. The power of the Crane 4's motors should be taken into consideration, even for non-professional users, if you're looking for really smooth video from a 3-axis gimbal without a lot of weight attached. Returning to a more expensive gimbal model in Zhiyun's Crane lineup, the Crane 4 has a number of advantages if you take the time to get familiar with its subtleties. The Crane 4 is a versatile camera attachment that is worth taking into consideration if you want to practice your photos more than just keeping your hands motionless. Alright guys, that's all from me today. I hope you found the video informative, and if you did, please give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.